Hello, all you wonderful sylphs out there. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And today I would like to offer the elemental relationship reading for the element of air. Air covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Sorry, I had a little bit of a brain check there. And these are general readings, so take what works, leave the rest for someone else. And if you've never had your charts read, there's a link in the description to a natal chart. It's an interesting little tool that gives you the 12 houses, and then it gives you 10 to 20 pages of what all those little spots mean. And there's a specific section in there for elemental energy, so it's kind of fun to see what your alignment actually works out to being. So, the way I like to do my readings for relationships in this particular forum, we'll look at the singles first, then we'll look at the couples, and for each group we look at which chakra energy is lighting up first, and then we'll get a little clarification from the tarot. So we will get started here for air singles. Air singles, yours is your chakra energy. I believe this is going to be third eye, but we'll check here in a second. It's number 41. Concentration. Well, this actually works into air's energy quite well because you're all about the mind. What I'm hearing with this one is July is a good month for our air singles to really get focused on what it is they're looking for. Are they looking for friendship? Are they looking for companionship? Are you looking to really get connected with someone in a romantic state? This is where bringing that amazing air focus, that sword energy from the traditional tarot, bringing that into alignment, bringing it down to a fine point where you know exactly what it is you're looking for. And that is going to be one of those ways that you can ride out any storm that may be coming up, but it's really wanting to bring that focus into this moment. So with these ones, I like to check in the book because there's a lot of good information with these. So with this one, the deity here is Kalaratri, sorry. She is the most fierce manifestation of Durga, the goddess of strength. She holds in one of her hands the sword of wisdom, and her club-like hook has the power to sever the ego's iron hold on the self. She is worshipped as a goddess of protection who can scare away troubles, ghosts, goblins, and any other negative energy. Okay, so before we get to the keywords here, on this side is her hook. Over here, she's carrying supposedly a sword. It could be over here. But there's a couple of spots she looks like she's carrying a sword. So we'll go with that. Your keywords are focus, concentration, learning a mental skill. This is perfect for air. And being alert in the present, diving into life to the deeper level. And this is your third eye energy. So this is really tapping into that ability for you to work with the mental energy, but also tap into your intuition a little bit. That's not one of air's more common things because they're much more about the mind, but intuition is a spirit connecting into the mind. So this is actually a good way for you to flex that energy just a little bit and do some more practicing with it as you go through the month. But what I'm hearing is this is your time to really explore what it is. Looking at your past, we'll go for this from more of a logical standpoint. When you look at your past relationships or the connections that you've had, what has worked? That goes down on a list. What hasn't worked? That's another list. Then you can focus on, well, these worked, so this is what I want to keep building. That didn't, so I'm really going to work to make sure that that is not an issue anymore. But we're not focusing on the negative, we're going to focus on the positive. So that's where you're able to put your concentration on the things that are most important. And that's where your third eye taps into discernment. It helps you understand a little bit deeper. So air singles, this is a time for you to basically get clear on what it is you're looking for. Your first tarot is the major arcana of number 13. This is the death card, I believe, in the traditional tarot. In this deck, it's called Release. Letting go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities and time to move on. This energy is really saying it's time to let go. Let go of the past. Why are we carrying around things that you did 10 years ago, 5 years ago? Those are no longer serving you. For you to be able to get into that state where you're opening the positive doors, air singles, to move into something better. But if you're looking for a relationship, this is a way to do it, is understand and learn from the past. release the energies, forgive the past, forgive yourself, forgive the other person, and allow yourself to actually move into this higher frequency. When you're going through the energy of release, we're not talking about, I have to forget all of those other people. No. You take the emotional side of it, the karmic connection, if you will, and you release it. That's what forgiveness does, is when you forgive yourself, you're cutting off the cord from your side. And then you forgive the other person, and it dissolves that cord altogether, because now they can go on and do their thing, and you are no longer attached to them or the situation. And this, what I'm hearing right now is this: there's something, a person that is, you're holding on to something about them. And what I'm hearing is release the guilt, release the shame. It's no longer a purpose to carry that forward. By releasing it, though, you also have to understand and bring in the lesson that you learned in that time period. So it's not, you're not forgetting about everything, you're just releasing the karma, the guilt, the shame, whatever it is that you're connecting to that person with. You're releasing that so you can move forward in a clean and healthy state. Your second tarot is number 0, which is the dreamer or the fool in traditional tarot. It's embrace your true purpose, beginning a new adventure, trusting yourself. You have to have this to achieve this. This is required so that this door will open. And it's going to require your concentration. It's going to require your focus. Air, this is your thing anyway. So get into that mind, really delve into that deeper state, and allow yourself the freedom to choose, to release the past, forgive everything and everybody from that period, take the lessons, and move forward with grace, with dignity, with authority, because when you learn the lesson, it gives you authority over that aspect of yourself, and you no longer are a slave to that energy. So, air singles, you guys have a little bit of work to do, but it's looking like it's going to turn into something really positive. So there's a little bit of focus, getting things lined up, but the outcome is you've got some doors opening. If you're willing to do the inner work, the releasing, the resetting, so to speak, you're able to pass into this next stage where if you're looking for new friends, a new friend group, this is going to be opened to you. If you're looking for a more intimate connection, that's going to be open to you. But you have to start the process by seeing what works, what doesn't, releasing the past, letting that go. That way you can move into this higher state of awareness where, you know what, I've made mistakes in the past, I've learned my lesson from them, I forgive them, I forgive myself. We've all had issues at some point, but now I'm stepping forward with wisdom. I know what I know what I don't want, I know what I do want. And now you're able to see those new opportunities in a different light, and you're like, okay, so that's what I'm looking for, so we're going to go that direction. So with that, we'll hop over to our couples before we get too deep into the couples energy. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and comment down below if you are watching this and you're getting some intuitive little insights that are different from what I'm saying, which is totally cool. If you're comfortable, drop your opinions down in the comments down below. It's always interesting to see what other people see when you look at the cards, because I see some stuff and I know other people that see completely different things. So, if you're comfortable with it, feel free to drop that stuff down there too. With that, we'll get started with our air couples. So when I talk about air couples, it could be you are the air sign, it could be your partner is the air sign and you're watching to kind of understand them better, or it could be that you both have air in your charts at a high enough level that it is affecting you. So we are now looking at your chakra energy. I believe this is going to be the throat chakra, but we'll check here in a second. It is number 30, communication. This is so important in relationships, and for air to have this come up as their couple energy is saying you guys have the gift to communicate. It's not just words. It's not just this communication. There's also this heart-to-heart energy that's coming up right now, and there's also a mind-to-mind, like a telepathic, where you guys are able to connect in a way that baffles other people. It's a form of intimacy that has nothing to do with bedroom activities. That does play a role in some cases, but the kind of intimacy where, if you've ever watched Friends, or you may have friends like this, where you can glance at each other from across the room and bust up laughing because you had a communication, no one else heard it, and you guys had your own little secret language. that's the type of stuff that's coming up here for the air couples. Is you guys are in a really cool energy right now, and it's because you have built this connection and because you have this ability to communicate so clearly, sometimes without even saying a word out loud. So our book here says we are in the throat chakra. So this guy right here sits generally right about your Adam's apple. Traditionally, they see it as blue, but we're working into some new energies here lately, so it could fluctuate significantly. The element here, which is that dot right in the center, is the Akash, or spirit, or ether, sometimes called space as well. It is the fifth element. It relates to non-physical etheric reality where sound dominates. It holds and transports words and their vibrational messages. The elephant... Oh, there's an elephant. The dot is on the elephant's face. Sorry. Where to go? Is named Gaja, linked with memory and sacred wisdom. The yogis use this image to depict the invaluable guru discipline or disciple relationship and the mingling of spiritual and cosmic consciousness. So what this is really bringing forward is... I just closed that was dumb. You guys are in this connected state where there is a lot of training. You're learning from each other. And when you look around the card, you have gurus, you have masters, and you have students, and you have the acolytes. So you are in a situation where, because of your intense connection, you're able to teach and work with each other in ways that others can't. And there also could be something of a mentorship coming in. I'm seeing kind of like a coaching type situation where you guys either consciously are coaching, meaning you're going out and teaching, or it is a subconscious coaching where people are observing you and learning through your actions. Your keywords here are communication, speaking, talking, listening, hearing on deeper levels, high thinking, clarifying what you think or say. So in reality, for our air, this is, again, tied right into your energy. It's really about open communication in a lot of ways. And I'm hearing it is the way you two interact is what's so important. It's not so much what you're saying, it's how you're interacting, because you're doing so in a deep soul-to-soul connection. So air couples, those of you who are listening to this and resonate with it, I'm seeing this like soul bonded energy where it's in the biblical sense that the two become one. You guys have actually bonded to that close where you actually think very similarly. You're still two individuals, you're not giving up that part of yourself, but there's a connection there that means that you guys actually have similar goals overall. You still have your individuality, but when it comes to the home, you have goals. When it comes to how we spend and save, you have the goals. When it comes to dealing with the kids, you have your goals. And you're in alignment with each other, which is really cool. I'm getting, like I said, it's an awesome energy I'm feeling with you guys. So your first tarot is the Six of Summer. Children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past, remembering events differently in a better or worse light than how they actually occurred. So this is saying don't get wrapped up in things that happened in the past. You guys are in this beautiful energy in the now, but what happened in the past is in the past. If you're looking back and it's like, are you looking at it from the fact of the child or the younger person who is in that situation? Because if you are, that's not going to be beneficial for you. That's where you have to look back and say, you know what? Look at where we are now. Back then, I wasn't in the best space, so I'm going to take that as, some foolish mistakes that occurred then, and I'm going to release it. I'm not going to put rose-colored glasses on and say, oh, it was so beautiful, or, ew, that was so disgusting. I'm going to look at it for what it is and say that was something that happened then. It may have been a mistake, it may have been good, doesn't matter, but I'm going to release that because it doesn't apply to where I am now. It doesn't apply to this beautiful connection that I have now. And being able to communicate with your own soul saying, we're releasing that, we don't need that anymore, is a gift of the divine that not many people have. And I'm hearing for the air couples that are feeling this connection right now, this is something that you've been bestowed to be able to look at those things and be like, you know what, I learned my lesson from that, so I don't need to carry that emotional or karmic balance anymore. So we're going to release that and let it go and, bring in God's source divine to help clear it out. Your angels, your guardians, they all have this ability, but they can't act without your permission. So your second tarot is the Queen of Spring. Brilliant, loyal, talented, and friendly. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you maintain a balance between work and home. No matter what's going on, your connection to your spouse, your partner, your whatever you want to call it, this is the most important thing. And being able to maintain that balance when you go to work and you do your thing to pay the bills, but then you come home. Leave work at work. If you need to vent it off for a few minutes, that's fine. But the Queen of Spring is saying you guys are in such an amazingly loyal and connected energy. You're basically your own best friends. Like you have friends outside of the relationship, but you always want to come home to your partner. The brilliant, of course, and talented, that ties into the air elemental energy, where it's very mental, very intuitive to a certain extent. But you guys are connected, and it's allowing you to grow in a very strong way. They're also saying that you guys have observed so much, and that's how you've learned, and you put into practice the things that you've learned. You're always willing to keep adding new information in, because the connection that you have is not just, okay, so we're here, we're done. You guys are actually connecting and still incorporating new knowledge, which is allowing your connection to grow deeper and stronger and build upon what you already have. The foundation is great. The first story is amazing. And you guys are keep adding on. You just keep building a better and better relationship is what I'm seeing. And the Queen of Spring, the other energy I get with this is we're looking at success. Like, you guys have done a lot of positive things within the relationship, and God Source Divine is saying, keep doing what you're doing, because you are heading in the right direction. It's just going to keep getting better. They're still going to have issues and troubles are going to be just part of life. But because of your deep connection, that deep sense of communication that you carry, you can have those things bombard your castle as much as they want, and you can sit at the top and be like, oh, well, that's nice. And you can keep going doing your own thing, because you don't worry about that stuff anymore, because you know your relationship is that strong. And so what I'm hearing is stay the connection. Take the time, which you already are doing, but this is your encouragement from Source, to take the time to hold on to those connections. Really bond yourself back into the relationship. If there's been something that has been distracting you, where you're a little more focused at work, or you're a little more focused on some chaotic world event, this is the call to return to your partner. That's where your strength is. That's where your foundation holds. Come back to that. Bring in God Source Divine. That way you guys bond together spiritually, and the rest of the world will eventually sort itself out. It always does. It's just a matter of chaos right now. Or if it's that situation at work, you know what? That person's either going to burn out, which is usually the best option, then they go away, or something else is going to happen. It's going to shift a dynamic and it'll settle down. So pay attention to the signs, because I'm hearing that Source is going to bring you information about both of these situations so that you can resolve that outside of the relationship. The relationship, though, come back to that. The focus has been distracting. It's time to come back in. So with that, I will let you guys go. I really appreciate everyone coming in to check out the video. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the cards, because it's always fun to hear other people's versions of stuff. With that, I will see you guys in a future video. Have a great rest of your week.